Hey guys, Chuck with ChuckOut.com. Today I want to talk about taking a negative event or a situation and turning it into a positive so that when you're going out to build your network marketing business, people look at you as somebody that they want to associate with because everything you seem to touch, you've got the Midas touch. You turn it into something positive. And this isn't something that comes easy for a great many people. And I think to a great extent why a lot of people get involved in network marketing or any business for that matter, and then things go wrong, as they often do, and it takes them out of the business. So if you're struggling in your network marketing business, if things always seem to be going wrong for you, you're just not able to get traction in your team or in your business, stick with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to share some stuff with you, some strategies that you can apply beginning today that can turn your business around. And so if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the little subscribe button in the bottom right corner of your screen and also the little bell, and it'll give you an alert each time I post a brand new video. Oh, and also, if you would, give me a thumbs up if you got value from this video and share it with somebody you think it would help. So let's get started. You want to succeed in your network marketing business. One of the biggest enemies you're going to have is negative thoughts. So how do we stay positive when everything is going sideways in our business? Well, I'm going to give you some exercises to do that I believe can have a huge impact on your success and your ability to ride through the storm. First of all, I want you to write down, you're going to do this every day. You're going to write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And, even if it's just simply the fact that you got a warm bed and a roof over your head, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be great. I mean, it doesn't have to be, these, I don't have $1 million in the bank, so my life sucks. And I got nothing to be, everybody's got things to be grateful for. And so I want you to write down every night or every morning, whenever your time schedule works best for. But I want you to do it on a consistent basis. So if nighttime works best for you, do it every night, and you're going to do this for 21 days. So every night you're going to write down 5 things that you're grateful for. You might want to write 21. I don't know. And if you do, great, good for you. But you're going to write down those 5 things you're grateful for, and you're going to do it every day. And the idea is in this exercise is that the more times that you do something, the more it's going to stick with you. You're going to start to it's going to be more on a conscious level. You're going to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. It's really easy to get caught up in the negative, and really hard to get think positive. I remember working with youth and who had various behaviors, and it was really easy to go through the staff's dailies that they had wrote. They did a review each day of the children that they were working with, and it was very easy for them to write a negative and a negative and a negative and a negative. But that is not, but they did do positive things. And so we need to be looking for positive. I also want you to write down each day, I want you to write 5 things that you want to have most in your life. So whether it's a new home, whether it's a new car, maybe it's a relationship, whatever it is, I want you to write those things down. And again, you're going to do this every day for the next 21 days. And then once you've done that, what I want you to do is I want you to visualize what your life is going to look like with those things in your life. So you're going to spend 2 or 3 minutes just thinking about, okay, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to have a nice home. I'm going to have a job or business. My business is going to be growing. If you have a job, maybe you want your job to work well. But if you're in network marketing, you're wanting your business to grow, and you're wanting to be able to help people succeed and see it thrive. And you're wanting to walk across that stage and receive that award. So write those things down. It's a good idea to write them down and then think about them. Okay. And one of my coaches said, have a have a picture board that you can look at with all those things on it. So visualization is extremely important. We don't think in words, we think in pictures. If I said a pink elephant, you're going to see a pink elephant. If I said a giraffe, immediately a picture of a giraffe pops in your head. If you put up a picture board and you look at that every night, that is very powerful. Again, your brain, you're on an unconscious level. Your unconscious mind is not going to separate reality from fact or from fiction. So the more times you expose yourself to something, the more times you think about what it's going to look like. I'm sure you've heard the saying, he lies so much he's beginning to believe his own lies, and that's the same thing. We're going to create a life in our mind that Napoleon Hill said, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. Okay. Focus on what is right in your life. It's really easy for us to, again, go, well, John, he was supposed to build his business and he quit. So much for my business. Or this thing doesn't work. I signed up 2 people and both of them have already quit, and now I'm back to square one. Well, focus on what's right. What did you learn when you brought those 2 people in? What did you find was most frustrating for them, and what ultimately caused them to quit? Because you can take that knowledge now and take it to the next person that you bring into the business so that they don't quit, so that you can help them succeed. Don't. This is a big one. Something negative. Like. You just hit your thumb with a hammer. You're putting a nail in a board, and you go, "Damn thumb, damn hammer," and rather than, and this is a tough one, but rather than taking a look at, John just quit, I'm a failure. Rather than saying I'm a failure, say, I got to figure out why he quit. Maybe there's some things that went wrong that I can help him with. Maybe he's even willing to stay on board. But no matter what happens, I'm going to learn something from him quitting so that I can help him. Don't say I'm things like I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I can't do this, this is too hard. Nobody wants to stay in this business. This business is no good. You know what? Your business is good. And the reason why I can say that is because in your company, in your team, there are people who are making tons of money, and they're helping a lot of people create an income that can help them with their bills and stuff. So your business is good. The only challenge is how do you get it to be good? Now, if you keep saying negative thoughts, if you have a thought in your head that comes, and you want to just verbalize it, you think, well, I'm going to get it off my chest. No, you're not. What goes out of your mouth goes right back into your ear, and it just keeps cycling back through. So if you have a negative thought for the next 21 days, you are not going to say it. You are going to say something positive. When somebody does something that you don't agree with, don't judge them. There's the Bible phrase that says, judge not lest you be judged. And so you want to be curious. Why did that happen? What was going on? What was he thinking about? Maybe it was something that happened to him that day. There's got to be a reason, and I got to find it out. So rather than attaching a negative connotation to it, you want to be curious. Find out what's going on. And like I said, judge others. No, don't do that. You know what? And here's the thing too, there are people you're going to be working with that, if you're judging them, they're going to be judging you. Your team wants to succeed. You're bringing people into your business, and you need to be uplifting them. You need to be coaching them and inspiring them. If you get on the phone with one of your teammates and go, you're doing really good. It's too bad George is such a failure at this thing because I thought he could really do good. Rather than saying he is such a failure, turned out to be such a failure, rather than saying that, say to your teammate, you know what, George is having a challenge with building his business, and I got to spend more time with him. I got to help him get this thing going. I believe in him. And that person you're talking to is hearing that. And they're going, you might think, well, this person I'm talking to is listening to me and we're friends and everything. But they're also judging your leadership skills. They want to attach them some to, because they're thinking, well, I wonder what happens when he gets off the phone with me. Is he saying the same things about me as he just said about George? You want to build a positive atmosphere. There's a saying that attitudes are contagious. So make sure yours is worth catching. Find at least one thing that you like about a particular situation, something that went wrong. Find at least one thing that you can say, hey, you know what? That was great. And also, you want to take the pressure off yourself. Decide not to be perfect. The more pressure you put on yourself, pretty soon you're judging everybody else because you got this kind of like, I got to be perfect and everybody else is going to be perfect. Relax, just relax. Be a guidepost. And I remember my wife tells me, so I'm a driver, right? I set a standard for myself and I expect everybody else to follow it. Well, you know what? Everybody's not me, and they have their own reasons for doing the business. So you have to find out, what they're all about. So decide not to be perfect. Take the pressure off you, and you're going to find you're going to feel a whole lot better about yourself. Take full responsibility. And I got down here in the bottom left corner, if you've noticed, it says responsibility. So take full responsibility for everything that goes on in your life. So anything that happens, I don't care if somebody even drove into the side of your car. You may say, well, it's not my fault he drove into my car. It may not be, but I want you to take responsibility for it, and I'll tell you why. Responsibility is your reaction and your responses. So maybe you couldn't control the fact that he drove into your car. You couldn't get out of his road. But you do have the responsibility to not be negative about what happened. I believe that really there's nothing that's good or bad. It's just our it's our what kind of a meaning we attach to it. So when he backed into your car, maybe he backed into your car because his wife is in the hospital dying and he wasn't there. And I can relate to this. And if I sound a little choked up, I went through this. So I remember I was heading to the hospital and I was pulling out from a corner and this person was leaving, and then when I start to drive forward, and all of a sudden they've stopped because there was a car coming, I guess, and I drove into them. I drove into the back bumper of their car. Now they could be angry with me, but I didn't do it on purpose. I was just somewhere else. So we need to be, again, I said curious. Be curious about what's going on because maybe you don't know. Imagine you're driving down the highway and a car swerves and just about knocks you off the road. You could be angry, but maybe that car swerved because the person in the other car was trying to recapture their child. Maybe the child had pulled their seatbelt off and was heading for the window, which was open, and they reached for their child to pull the person back in. Now, if you ended up in the ditch because of that event, you might be upset, and you have a right to be upset. You've just wrecked your car, but you know what? Are you going to be angry with that person because he was trying to save his child? You see, if you don't know what was going on this whole circumstance, you're making judgments, and that is you're attaching negatives, and that can happen in your network marketing business. People may do something that you don't think is right. You don't know why they did it, and you can attach a judgment to it. But you're just ruining your world. You're not helping the situation. You're not helping yourself be a leader. Staying positive when everything around you is going crazy is not an easy thing. It's not something that's just going to happen. It's not passive. A positive mental attitude might be a lot of focused energy, particularly in the beginning. I think you have to develop some habits. We grew up in a different home environment, and maybe we were criticized a lot when we were children, and so we're a bit hard on ourselves. I'm sure we all know people who they always feel like maybe somebody's judging them, and so when we judge ourselves, we have a tendency to want to judge other people as well. And there's a saying in the Bible that says, "Judge not, lest you be judged." That when you go out and judge your team members, maybe you're on the phone with one of your team members, and you're saying, you know what, I really thought George was going to do great, but you know what, turns out he's just not cut out for this business. I don't think he's got a hope. He's lazy, he's this, he's that, and you're thinking maybe on some level that you're talking to somebody who you've got a good relationship with, but at the same time, you know what, they're listening to you talk about George, and they're wondering, I wonder if when he gets off the phone, does he talk about me like that? But if you were on the phone with your colleague, your team member, and you're saying, you know what, George is really struggling, and I got to get together with him and help him because I believe in George. You know, when I first met him, I knew that he had a gift, and it's just a question of me working with him and helping to bring it out. Now, when you get off the phone with him, with your other team member, he's going to get off the phone with you and he's going to say, you know what, that Dave is a great leader. He doesn't care about you. You have struggles. We all have struggles, and he's out there. He's helping people to succeed. You know what? I'm going to recommend a good friend of mine to come into this business because I know, even if he even has problems, my coach is going to help him because that's the kind of person he is. There are people who are out there that, they never say a bad word about anybody, and everybody likes them. It's because they don't judge other people. So if you want to be successful in this business, I would really strongly encourage that you start applying these strategies that I've given you in this video about remaining positive, even when everything is going sideways. I promise you that if you do, your business and your life is going to be way happier. Take the negatives, leave them at the door. As I said before, attitudes are contagious. Make sure that yours is worth catching. Now, if you got value from this video, I really would appreciate you give me a thumbs up. It'll help my video. And also, if you're new to the channel, click the little red button in the bottom right corner. It's a subscribe button. And also, if you click the little bell, it'll give you an alert each time I post a brand new video. So you take care. I wish you all the best with your network marketing business. Have a great day.